Hristina Nenova is a seasoned recruitment and talent acquisition expert with over 8 years of experience. With strong passion for career growth and employer branding, she has dedicated her career to helping professionals refine their job applications, optimize their CVs, and build LinkedIn profiles that open doors to new opportunities. Throughout her journey, Hristina has successfully guided countless individuals toward landing their dream roles by crafting standout profiles that grab recruiters' attention. In this session, she will share insider tips on boosting your candidacy, creating an irresistible CV, and developing a LinkedIn profile that really works for you. Hristina, it's an honor to have you with us today, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Violina, and thank you once again, Frontend Queens, for the invitation. I really hope to can share very useful tips from the inside. And yeah, I probably will wonder what that strange name is because I lived some time in America, and my name is without missing C. It started with H. However strange this is, but traditional Bulgarian name. I like to joke that that's the female version of Jesus, but yeah, just how we call it. But okay, let's start with first thing first. I know it can be scary to have zero or very limited experience, but we all been there. We all started from somewhere, and the good news is a lot of companies already know that and are starting working, creating more junior options or intern options, which is amazing for you. But you have to find these options and apply to them and get choose for that, which I know the competition is very hard. So that's why today I will try to share the best tips and tricks which help a lot of the people I consult and have talks to get noticed, and I'm pretty sure it will be work for you as well. And first thing first, you will need your autobiography or a CV. It's the first thing that the company will see about you, so it's very important how you build it. And here is no CV that's work perfectly for everyone, or I cannot say which CV is great for every recruiter, but there are some tips that will make your CV be more approachable and more likable for the recruiters than the others. For the template, you have a lot of free options in the internet. You can just go and choose whatever you like best for you. Just have in mind that the simple it look like, the better for you. You can choose the one with the picture or not. It's very depending about you, but be careful with the picture. Just choose the professional looking picture. If it's amazing for Instagram, probably it's not the best option for the CV. So, what your CV is the must to have. Start with adding a personal communication channel, like how the company can approach you. I know it sounds like who wants add emails and phone number, but it happens, and it happens too often that I want to admit. So please make sure you add that. It's super important because that's the only way the company can find you. Add phone number, email address, and the city you're located. Like, no need to add your personal address. At least for now, the company are not going to visit your home to interview you, probably in the future, but we'll see. For now, that's information your future employer is no needed to know. So with that, a good summary. Summary is a place where you present yourself, at your motivation, why you want to apply for that company and that job, and what your skills you're good at and you want to create, to continue creating and developing in. So keep it simple. 3, 4 short sentences are more than enough. If you're not sure what to write or you're not sure if it's suitable for your CV, we are living in amazing times where ChatGPT is free and happy to help us all the time. So that's the first few centimeters of your CV. After that, you always need to remember to write your CV chronologically backwards. What I mean, starting with the most recent work or education you have, because that's the most suitable for the position you're applying. Don't start with your high school. Don't start with if you have any school work. That's not relevant for the job you're applying. At only starting with, for example, you just finish your degree, university, start with that. Plus, add a few projects that you write to develop your skills, where you're applying and you want to develop further in your future job. That's the most relevant things for your job, and that's the recruiters wanted to see. If they needed to search in the bottom of the CV, most probably they'll just skip to another CV. Always think for your CV is that the person who is looking at it probably has at least 1,000 more to look. And if it's needed to search for the needed information, they'll skip it. They have a lot of options. So we don't want that. We want our CV to be clear and easy to read. So that has to be your first thing doing it when you're writing CV. Chronologically, back start with the most recent and most relevant experience or education. Also, very important to have a separate sphere for your hard skills, which are the skills you want to develop. For example, you're a JavaScript developer who want to continue working with, let's say, Angular or React or Node.js, doesn't matter. Just write that separately on different sections. That will make recruiters' life more easier to find and to select you for the perfect position. Plus, a lot of companies started using AI tools for reading CV, and that also is something that AI tools love. To have it separately and easy to track, so they cannot skip your CV and to select it for the position and next steps. So that's a must. Plus, you're wanted to develop in IT sphere. So it's a must, but must to have your GitHub profile there. Link it, you can add it somewhere to your contacts, because a lot of recruiters starting to learn how to use that site, and also a lot of tech guys who later will watch your CV before interviewing you. There they can see your projects and on what to focus to question your experience during the interview. So that are the must thing you have to have in your CV, and it should take no longer than 1 page. You don't have experience, what you add for 3, 4, 5 pages, and no one will have that time to look for that exact number. Once again, for the CV, keep it short and easy to read. Always imagine that the person who will read it have at least 1,000 of it, so make it as much easier as possible for them. And the tip I always give to the people I'm talking with, when you're ready with the CV, just pass it to your friend, just to be sure everything's right. Because when you're creating something, when you stare at that thing for a lot of time, it's very easy to have some silly mistakes that you probably your mind can't read. So they can see, for example, you're missing some letter, or you don't have space, or you use different shrift. So as when you're ready, just pass it to some of your friends to read and be sure everything's all right. And that's what your base CV should have. When we are ready with that, it's good to remember that one CV doesn't apply for every job. It's your base, but before applying for different jobs, read the job ad very carefully and try to adjust your CV as much as possible for that position you want to apply. Don't lie to your CV. It's a big mistake, because the interviewer or technical interviewer after that will notice your lie very easily, and you might make a bad name for you, because trust me, the IT sphere is not so big even in America and whole Europe. You don't want to start with that. Don't lie, just make it as much as possible suitable for that job ad you want to apply. Once again, if you're not sure how, ChatGPT is there for you. It's free and it will take you less than 2 minutes to do it and to ask. And now we have our CV, which is amazing. What else we can do to boost our career and apply for the company, how to be noticed. Next step we have here, and it's a must if you want to develop in IT sphere, is your LinkedIn profile. It's going to be a huge mistake if you don't have a LinkedIn profile and to not have it work and looking the best way that recruiters can find you in the future, or you can present yourself in the recruiters of different companies. So, what to do? Create a LinkedIn profile, create the picture you use for your CV, probably is suitable for your LinkedIn as well. Write a short summary, and here a tip, always in the summary use the keywords you want to develop. For example, you want to develop as a front-end developer with React, let's say. Write it there in the summary, because the algorithm of LinkedIn will love that and will make it easy for the recruiters, if they're actively looking for people like you, to appear in their search on top. After that, upload information about your project. If you have some real experience, great. If you don't, just apply what side project you have been working on. Once again, add your skills. The skills is a must, because that's the way algorithm of LinkedIn is working and show you to the developers. Plus, right now, LinkedIn has one other extra amazing function, which is to select job ads which are suitable for you based on your profile and your experience, and propose it to you. So it do some work for you, which is great. But for doing that and present your suitable job offers, you just need to have the right full profile on LinkedIn. Other thing I really like on LinkedIn is that it suggests you how to make your profile fill with the right information to appear as it called all-star profile. You see that when you add the edit to your profile, and it suggests you what to write for examples and what next steps you need to finish to have that called all-stars profile there. And when we have that LinkedIn profile ready, we're ready for the active part, the action part, which is to make ourselves even more appears for the companies and the recruiters you want to have their attention. Here I always suggest the people with no experience to be very proactive, and you all probably already know which are the biggest company you want to work in, which they have junior or intern position. What you do, of course, follow them. They share useful information, they share information about the company, their strategics, their growth, their goals, which from one side it gives you idea how it is to work for such company. From others, later you can use that information you just get on your plate during the interview to impress technical interviewers and recruiters, and to show how you're familiar with the company without doing so much extra steps. After that, find the recruiters who worked for that companies and invite them. Having them in your connection, once again, makes you appear first on recruiter search, and algorithm will love you even more. So you'll be the first person that they will see when they're looking for people like you. So add this person in your connection in LinkedIn. And furthermore, once again, you will have value information when they open suitable position for you, when they're planning to open intern position, because usually they share it few days or weeks ahead, just to be prepared and to start collecting CVs. So this is also good news for you. And even extra step, which I encourage people to do, is to start connecting some of so-called stars of those IT companies. What I mean, Nowadays, a lot of companies wanted to have developers who are doing tech talks, who are sharing valuable information, just to have the revenue of the company being more good, more visible. So it's a great way for you to very naturally connect with developers for that company and to start networking without being strange, like online, just to attach somebody's personal space. No need for that because they're sharing very interesting posts where you can comment and to join different discussions and being noticed, which is very useful and will help you a lot during your interviewing process. So yeah, that's the steps which will help you a lot in LinkedIn, and that way will make really LinkedIn work for you. As much active you can be, it's great. But also please be careful because LinkedIn is work social media. And it's a place where a lot of people can see your comments. So here is my another advice. If you strongly disagree with someone, it's fine. If you don't like something, it's fine. Just don't comment or comment very carefully because always think that your future employee can see it. And a very interesting thing I learned about America is that the government is thinking of tracking social media behavior of their future candidates. So it's careful what you do there on your online social media, but especially on LinkedIn because, as I mentioned, it's work social media and everyone can see everything there. Even if you got somebody's profile, you can see not only his post but what he comments. So try to be always nice to people. Comment only if you can add value to that discussion. No hate, like that's forbidden. You, no matter how much experience and value you can't let yourself being aggressive and writing negative thing on that media, like it's staying there forever. So no, be very present on everything you do, especially on LinkedIn. So yeah, with that being said, continuing with the other steps. So you got that extra effort, you have the amazing CV, you get noticed in LinkedIn, and it's time for interview. Nowadays, it's very often interview to be both way. Either it's on in the office of the company, or it's very often to be online, which is okay. There is some few rules which are variable for the both ways. Firstly, you need to do your homework very carefully. As I already mentioned, before that, you need to be very familiar with the company. Do your research, no matter if you apply for 15, 100 companies, when they call you for one exactly, you just go to their website, go to their social media, and start reading everything you can for that company. Who's the CEO? What's the vision? What's the culture of the company? What's their goals? How many, even if you want, how many people are working there? Because it will give you valuable information and you appear like the person who is really wanting to be working exactly for that company. Not only for the job, not only like you're desperate to get any job, you want to be working for that exactly company. That will make amazing, that will put you in amazing light, like that's your dream company. Doesn't matter it is or it isn't. Do that. It make a different, it make a huge difference in your interview process. Trust me, and thanks me later. And next step, always be 15, at least 15 minutes early, no matter if it's on the office or it's online meeting. If it's online, click on that link you have, check if everything's alright, your microphone is working, your camera is on. Your camera is something super important because if your camera is not working, 99% of the time the interview will be rescheduled because the camera is the only thing that can prove the interviewers are talking exactly with you. not with somebody else, like you call your cousin to present you because he has better tech skills. So the camera is something super important, both important as having your microphone on. So camera and microphone check. You can have the time to see if everything's working. The internet is fine. Your laptop is booked, so you have enough battery. Just make sure everything's all right. To don't have some surprises which you don't want to have during your interview. And if you're in the office, 15 minutes at least, be earlier. Doing that, you can have enough time to find a place, be on time, have time to chill out, to refresh yourself, to have something in your mind like, does the company write your questions if you have some question which you don't find in the internet. Oh, and during the research, be very familiar with the job ad. Like you be very familiar with your CV and the job ad. And if you have something you don't understand for, let's say, the future requirements, just ask. Because sometimes it might be missing or some misunderstanding, and other times it might be surprisingly added requirements which are super strange, but once you agree to them. So if you have something you're not clear, you're confused, or not sure, be familiar, know it, and ask it during that interview. And third, but last but not least, doesn't matter if the company doesn't have dress code, just be formally organized. Don't dress extravagantly. Don't dress to like not TikToks. No extra makeup. No, just full regular clear dress outfit. Sorry. What I mean, if you're not sure, you don't have to go with suits, especially in the IT sphere. That will be super untraditionally. But watch jeans. You won't mistake with that. But just clear white, clear white shirt, and no stones or everything extravagant on your jeans. Everything will be fine. But once again, just to look tight. It's important. You want to make a good impression during your interview. The company might love your extravagant outfit, but the company might hate it. And you don't want to be guessing if that your outfit will give you an extra points or will take points of your how you do the interview. You won't be wrong with keeping it formal and elegant. And with that being said, during the interview, just be calm. Recently, I read something which can be more true, but when you're invited to the interview, the company side, the interviewers or the interviewer really wanted you to be the their person. They don't have that extra time to spend on viewing 10, 20, or 30 candidates. They want you to be their person. They invite you because they believe you can fit that job at and that position. So that's why you're there. You're not there to interview or like make you feel uncomfortable, make you fall. No, nobody has that extra time to lose it with doing interviews which won't lead to anything. No one have that extra energy to spend it to someone who is not worth their time, who is they're not believing is going to fit the position. So always going with that mindset, like you're invited to be there. The company really wants you to be that their person. That make a lot of difference, and honestly, it's true. I talk with so many technical interviewers, and if they're not sure with the CV or the person will work, they just tell it because they usually they don't even get paid for that interviews, which around will take approximately hour and a half plus hour to write feedback. So that's 2-3 extra hours of their time and work, which their daily responsibility is not going away. So they added some extra time. Always think about that. They invite you to the interview, so they really wanted to be their person. So go very calm, be present, listen carefully to the questions, answer very carefully, don't be stressed, take your time. The interviewers are there because they believe you're their person. I really believe that makes changes because I have seen candidates who go with the mindset that no, I'm not suitable for that position. They're gonna make me look like fool. No, no one wants that for you. Like, okay, I'm probably someone, but that's a very toxic company, and it's also a red flag to not go there. But most of the times, technical interviewers they want it to work. So always remember that. And the most important, at the end of the interview, you have time to have some questions to the interviewers. Use that time and ask smart questions. What I suggest is to go and have some questions in mind, but listen very carefully because you don't want just to have that question in mind and to ask them. And for example, the technical interviewer and the interviewer already told you we're looking for someone because the present person is going, let's say, on maternity leave, or he get promoted, or we are growing, and you to ask why this position is open. It's to put you on so bad in bad lighting, but if it didn't came during the interview, it's super okay to ask why this position is open. Do you grow? Is it replacement for someone? It's fine. Or to ask what are the next steps. Or to ask if you didn't get some information in the internet, like how big the team I'm expecting to work in is, how the methodology, what methodology the company uses, is it agile, is it waterfall? Like all these questions will make you look very interesting in the position. Yeah, ask meaningful questions which you really have interest, not just because someone told you you need to ask questions. Okay, and I think that's the most important thing which will give you that extra step. And here I have some questions which Violina prepared for me, which were important for you, and I would love to answer. And after that, to answer, if you have some extra questions which are coming, I saw here that are coming, so I can't wait to answer. But here are some portfolio and projects. What are the key elements recruiters look for in a junior front-end developer's portfolio, and how can developers showcase their skills effectively when they have limited professional experience? It's good to have some certificates and projects that you write if you don't have zero product experience. Like put your projects which you develop, but keep it simple. Like right, I have that project. That was the idea. I work with in a team of 5 person, for example, and we do that and that. Explain it like it was a work experience. The recruiters will notice it. Also, the technical interviews as well. But you can also add it in your GitHub as well, because it's important. As I mentioned, nowadays recruiters are viewing both your resume, sorry, and your GitHub profile. And resume teams, what are the most common mistakes you see in the resume from entry-level front-end developers, and how can they make their resume stand out in a competitive? I believe I answer those questions, but once again, I see a lot of people doing their CV chronologically, which is a big mistake because the most important part is your top part. And spending it explaining on what high school you were or in what was your summer job, it's just a waste of recruiters' time, and more probably they will skip your time. And the other most common mistake, which I still cannot think how people are doing it, but I'm guessing they're just overthinking it, is to not add contacts. Contacts, especially email and phone number, but email and phone number is the way that recruiters will contact you for the next steps. Always make sure you have information about your how the recruiters to contact you, and chronologically start on top should be the most relevant experience you have. And one resume is not applying to every job, just try to adjust it as much as possible to every position you are applying. So yeah, that will make a difference. Job application, when applying for jobs, it is better to focus on leveling application for specific roles or to apply as many positions as possible. Apply as many positions as possible, but you can find which are suitable for your experience. Be very careful and read very careful the job description. Like if you're applying on-site job which is 100 kilometers away from you, it will be a waste of time, because even the recruiters, and you're not planning to relocate, even if the recruiters call you, it will be pretty much impossible. Also, no point you don't have the experience to apply for a regular or senior position. I know some people are thinking, yeah, but they will notice me. No, what of the recruiters just will be what this person is applying for position. He's obviously not qualified enough. So apply as many positions you can find which are suitable for you and you are imagining yourself working. There is no point of applying on some position which you'll be hoping not to get called. Certification in boot camps. Do certification or attending boot camps significantly improve a junior front-end chance of getting hired? It depends on certification. If it's meaningful, like you have, for example, GTP certificate, is good to add it, but we all know that we have some certification which we will receive just attending some events, and that's pointless, and will take valuable place on your CV. So add certification only if they're valuable. And bootcamps, yes, attending bootcamps can really boost your chances of getting hired because of several things. On their bootcamps, you have technical mentors from the company you probably want to desire to work for. And if you make them an impression, like doing the task and assessment good, or just start talking and get to know them, you already have them in contact, they know you in person, and you already have someone who know from that company. And from my side, if it's a team lead, he can request for you to take you in their team, or if it's they don't know if there's an opening, they can refer you. Referrals are amazing source which the recruiters really love, because usually it comes from employees who work in that company. They know the culture of the company. They know the requirements. They know which person will fit to the company. So it's always looking with priority. So always attempt to as many boot camps you can find. It will make a big difference for you. Yeah, I will answer to the this one. How important is networking for juniors front-end? But are some practical ways they can build connection and find opportunities. Once again, networking and connections are super important for you. From one side, you can get a referral to a company. You can get some insights of the hiring process. Like you can always get to know the person who might be your future technical interviews. It most probably no, because people are saying, I know that person, I cannot interview him because there will be conflict of interest, but they can share you, like, for example, on every technical interviews, we are asking that and that and that, which is the basic for us, which is very important. Look for it. Like, they're not giving you all the questions, but they give you some very important insight, which can make the difference. Also, attend to as much as possible technical events you can find or career events. Go there, be proactive. Meet with the recruiters, usually on the company booth. There are technical people that are there because they're having lecture, they're having a speaking, and they would love to answer your question, to get to know the company. And once you meet in person that people, it's very hard for them to ignore you later when you write them, or you can give them your personal your information, like you can share some LinkedIn profiles and keep connected with them. But here, keep it clear. Don't be annoying to that person. Like, just be charming. And if you see an opportunity, or just mention I'm looking for a job, that's enough. No need to write them every day. It's not looking good. Okay, freelancing versus full-time. For someone just starting out, would you recommend freelancing to gain experience or focusing solely on landing a full-time role? Focusing on full-time role. I know it might be harder, but you have security that you have job. The company is there for you. They most probably will give you a mentor who is there to educate you. There are always seniors who can help you when you have some questions, which will show you how to do it, what's the right way. Take time lecturing you, and being in a big or not big, but every company usually have internal assessment procedure, grow up one. So it will be more easier for you to learn new stuff. So with 2 hands full time. Oh, of course, and also it's kind of hard later that to present, like, for example, you have some freelancing experience, 5 years, and the position you are applying is looking for someone with 4 or 5 years of experience. It's hard to prove that you actually have it. But if you find some freelancing position or working startup, which in my opinion it's very similar to freelancing, have their boss. They always work with the newest technology. You will be covering few positions because they don't have people for them, for all the people to cover all the roles. So you're facing different responsibilities, and you learn new stuff. You'll be learning by doing, which is not always the worst. It might be a pretty stressful, but it have pluses, and you have for sure the flexibility to work whatever you like. Most probably you'll be working fully remote, which is also amazing. But for juniors, for sure, full-time is the better opportunity because it will boost your knowledge, it will boost your career, and you will have someone who will navigate you. Remote work opportunities. Are remote positions accessible for junior front-end developers, and what should they consider when applying for such role? Honestly, remote work opportunities are starting to getting harder to find, but still you can still find them. But here, once again, my advice will be go on site. I know it's maybe annoying. You spend some time which is waste in traveling, but being in the office, you always have someone who is there for you to navigate you, to answer your questions, to networking with, to learn some tips and tricks, extra information. It will be better for your career, especially if you don't have a lot of experience. Of course, if you're living in city or place where you don't have a lot of opportunities, remote work opportunities are still there. They're still suitable. Usually are coming for startups, which I already mentioned. In startups are very closing to freelancing because they're startups. The people usually are not familiar what they're doing. They will be working with that organization. Most of the times they even don't have human resources, but you can work fully remote. Usually it comes with a higher salary, but it will take a lot of extra effort from you to continue learning new stuffs by only by yourself. You'll be there by yourself. Like if you don't know something, you'll be the only one responsible to find it. On one side, it's not so bad, but on others, it will take you more time. It might slow your career development. But if it's that on your own opportunities, there's so a lot of remote opportunities. Just will honestly, it kind of harder to find, especially if you don't have a lot of experience. But still, there is opportunities, so you can go and search for such. And okay, we have some extra questions. If you don't have it on presentation, I have it.
Yes, thank you. You shared a lot of valuable tips, and we do have questions in the chat. The first one is, do you recommend hiring a professional company to craft our resume? If we haven't heard back from a company at all, would it be worth considering?
If you have that extra money to spend, you can go with the paid version, but we have a lot of free CV, ready CV examples, CV portfolios, which are fully free, and you have a lot of open AI tools, which are also free and will help you. But once again, you're always wondering, though, is something wrong with your CV? But even if you have your CV written by a professionalist, it won't gather you. You'll get the call for interview or get hired. So yeah, you can do amazing CV by yourself, but if you're not feeling so confident, you can go and give that. You can hire a professionalist. If the professionalist actually is good, they will let you do it by yourself, and will share useful tips and tricks how to modify it for different position. If it's not, just will give you already CV. You need to be very careful to who you hire. And how can determine if a job posting is real? Honestly, that's quite hard to determine, but just look the company. If it's some shady company who have only one job opening, which is staying more than 2-3 months, most probably it's not real. If it's from some big company, probably it's real and they're continuing hiring and growing. Just look for the company. That's your only way to make sure if the job ad is real or not.
Thank you. Another question, with more than 700 applicants for some jobs, is it still worth applying?
Yeah, it is. It is still applying. It's something like untold true, but the recruiters are just seeing couple of CVs which are they're not starting with the first applying. It depends how the system is working behind that, but for example, a lot of job sites and internal company sites are posting you day to day. So it's impossible to call to everyone, and won't be super unfair to call on everyone and to add more than 100 people, especially if they're fighting for one position. So they're calling, for example, to 10 people, put them in process, and we'll see how they go. So apply. You don't know if your CV won't be appear on top of everyone, and just get lucky to be the one CV who is viewing for that day and get the call. Don't look how many people are applying, just apply at you.
Thank you for this suggestion. Another question. If I have a lot of work experience, how do I know which jobs to include on the resume to make it one page?
Add the most common to the job that you're applying. And if they're similar positions, for example, you have been starting working as junior front-end developer in one company and you got promoted, or you got to another company where you're a regular recruiter, but your requirements didn't change a lot, just have a few added. Just add to the few added. Like the recruiters, they know that you did all that things plus the few added, and also there's no need to describe some not so interesting requirements of your position, which won't make it impression. If you have a lot of career experience, try to put it that way, like everything you do is sounding like achievement, like something it makes the difference. For example, let me just think, but yeah, if you were leading a team and because of your idea you get some percentage, like you propose a new way of meetings, even though like it doesn't say so impressive, and the success of these meetings improve by 50%. Write it like something big. It's like, once again, no like, but make it sounds like that LinkedIn girls. They're having maybe some LinkedIn, but you make it more interesting for the recruiters. For example, I add a new system for tracking meeting notes, which improve the work goals, work get done by 20% or 15%. Like you did something by yourself and you make some difference. Not only do the requirements for you, you're showing that extra step you did.
Amazing, thank you. Another question from Hannah. There are many job postings online that seem to appear periodically over several months, but never show up on the official company websites. Most likely, these could be non-existent or outdated vacancies. How can one determine if a job posting is real? Are there any ways to verify its legitimacy besides checking the company's official website?
It's very hard if it's not in the company website, but also if it's posted on LinkedIn via a company representative, for example, from a recruiter, most probably the position is real, because posting on LinkedIn job ad is very expensive, and you can do it by yourself. For example, I can't having my LinkedIn linked to my company and my company is paying me that recruiter license. I can go and just think of some job ad and create it, which is not real because it's connected to the global company websites. Sorry if it's kind of hard explaining, but just to imagine how it's look like. So if it's on the company's LinkedIn or company website, it's legit. If it's on some career website, most probably it's not, or it's posting via some recruiting agency, which is just gathering some CVs, which later will try to sell to different companies.
Wow, thank you for this information. Is it true that nowadays 80% of hiring managers use AI to filter resumes. Should we try to game this? And Ainur is thanking you for the advice about the interviews and what want you to be the person they're looking for.
Oh, thank you. And no, I don't think 80% of hiring managers are using AI to filter resumes, especially in tech systems. There is still no such proven good AI systems from what I recently know. We are using, for example, if you have customer support position or something like that, which we gather a lot of CVs, and they are not so, like, it's more generic and more people can do it because it's more basic. But for a tech position, still the recruiters are value, their view is value. And I have read one very interesting story that from one very big IT company, but I don't know, I think they didn't mention their name, which were using it, and they stopped receiving any CVs, and even the CEO of the company applying got rejected. So he fired the HR team because of that. So we use AI, but it's less percentage for sure. But we should always try to game this by, as I mentioned, we have a lot of open free AI tools, and always is a good idea to check your summary. Like just go and ask them about your CV, how to adjust your CV to a job ad. They're giving some very nice full tips. I also do it sometimes when I'm not sure about something. And that's the way, like using AI. You can game AI by using it.
Thank you. And probably the last question we have. Stephanie is saying that she is transitioning out of education, teaching and admin, and have completed a year-long boot camp. For her resume, she puts the projects she created on the first page and then has her education expertise after that half page. She knows she have transferable soft skills from her previous jobs, but jobs are not relevant to what she is applying for. Is that what you suggest, or do you have a recommendation of how to make it better?
I'm trying to imagine how it might be looking. But it's okay. You have like always on the first page, and especially on the top of the first page, you add your most recent and most useful experience. As from what I understand, you already did. My advice will be, if you can think how to put it on one page and on what you can like remove, and you think it's not important to be just one page, because most probably the things which are added to second page won't be written. And if you have just half page, also it's not looking very good, like why you have a half empty page. So my advice will be to see if you can somehow separate the CV and get some extra space, or see if you can delete something and remove it from the CV, or if not, just leave to the second page, like the information which is not so relevant. Plus, I won't put the soft skills, because soft skills are kind of important nowadays for a developer job, because it's a lot of meetings, and it's valuable to have good soft skills. But yeah, most relevant experience, put it on the second page, if you can think of a way to put it on everything on one page. I hope I explain it understandable.
Yes, thank you. And I have one question because in our community we have volunteers opportunities, and a lot of people are just breaking into the tech industry, and we advise them that even though they don't have experience, they can add this volunteering experience so that they grab attention. You, as a recruiter, how would you consider a candidate with volunteering experience in tech community, for example?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good idea to put it because doesn't matter if it's volunteering or no, it's still some experience. Doesn't matter if you do it like a side project or voluntarily, it's good to have it. And being voluntary, it means that you are doing extra steps, like you're doing something which you most probably won't get something for yourself, which is always look with a good eye because companies are looking for such people who are okay to do the extra step, to go the extra mile, not only to looking on their responsibilities and that's all. Nowadays, whatever you're proactive, how much proactive person you are, the better for you. So it's good to add it. Even though you have experience, also it's good to add it.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Hristina, for this amazing session. You shared so much valuable tips to our members.